My project, which is called Office Setup in the United States of America. So this project is here to advise my head management in Germany how they could step into the American market. We are already present in Europe and we would like to be present worldwide. So we think the next step is to be present in the United States. The production is in Germany. So we are manufacturing automatic recirculation check valves, which is a valve made for a protect centrifugal pump. So this is part of the flow control industry. And we would like to keep the production in Germany so that we are going to only open local subsidiaries and service plants in the United States. So the agenda, first I'm going to present the product, which is a little bit special. Then I'm going to make the market study, our automatic recirculation check valve market study in general. Then I'm going to focus on the US market, and then we will try to see what we can make out of these two analyses, analyzing the RRC valve market in the US, so that we can define our implementation strategy and finally make a business plan and conclude. So the product. This product is especially made to protect centrifugal pumps. It is made of a branch which is made for the automatic recirculation, which permits to have a minimum flow always in case the flow to the process becomes zero. And this in order to avoid cavitation. Cavitation is a partial gasification of the fluid, which creates bubbles, and these bubbles have supersonic speed, and these bubbles can destroy a centrifugal pump within a few minutes. So we need always to have a flow to avoid that cavitation, and this what is making our valve automatically. It is a fully automatic mechanical play. Oh, sorry. And the other point is that the valve is composed of a check valve, which impedes any flow to go backwards. So these centrifugal pumps are present in each industry that needs to move a liquid or to put it under pressure. So this means we are present in the boiler feed water industry, chemical industry, iron and steel industry, paper mill, nuclear power plants, firefighting system, oil extraction, hydrocarbon transport and filling, but also some smaller industries like artificial snow production and general industrial production. Now to the RRC valve market especially. So this market is mainly composed of three types of customers. So of course the centrifugal pump manufacturers, who usually buy our products and mount it directly on their pump to sell the package. The engineering companies like Technip, Babcock, huge companies who create plants, who design plants and then create them. So they buy a pump and they buy our product and buy the lines and everything they need to manufacture an entire plant and then mount everything together. And we also have sometimes as customer the final customers, so directly the industrial plants like ArcelorMittal or Total, very big industrial players. We have three types of marketings, whether we sell directly through our plants or subsidiaries, or we also sell through other companies who are in charge of one or more countries, or we have agents who sell or in a given country and are paid through commissions. And this market has two types of competitors. So the direct competition, the companies who which are making the same product, about 6 companies worldwide, and the indirect competition, about 20 companies which protect centrifugal pump, but with another technology, which is not automatic. So how do we make money out of this business? So we have, as we have seen, finally four types of customers. So the first one is the subsidiary. So it's very easy to sell to them because they make the whole work and then we sell to them. But we can sell at a low price, which means we have a low margin because they need special prices to then sell to another customer. For example, then the pump manufacturer, we can sell at higher prices, but still we need to give them the opportunity to have a margin when they sell the package pump plus valve to the engineering or to the final customer. So you can see really that the amount of work and the margin are directly related. And finally, yes, sometimes we sell directly to the final customer. There we can have really high margins, but it's very difficult to penetrate. Usually they don't even know us because we are quite small player. And the amount of work is very high because there is a lot of documentation and quality certification to sell to them. So focusing on the US market, so general figures about this market, we have about 300 million inhabitants in 2005 with a provision of 410 million in 2050. Huge area with about nearly 10 million square kilometers. A GDP in 2007 which was 14,000 billion US dollar and a growth rate of 2.5%. So this GDP is composed still a little part of agriculture, about 1%. 19% is industry and the main percentage is services. So the US is a service market, but still the industry represents 20%, which is 2,660 billion US dollar, which remains one of the biggest industrial markets in the world. The strength of this market is the labor efficiency and the market size, as we have seen, the ease of doing business, still a good growth rate with a low unemployment, 165 job creation every month. So these figures, of course, were before the crisis we are now facing. Maybe I'm not going to focus on the crisis, it would be too difficult, and we're just assuming that in 2010 US will recover and find again these figures. The consumption, yes, in 2006 was about 72%. Companies' investment 5.8% in 2005. So a market that is driven by inner consumption. Still, there are some weaknesses like the external deficit, which represents 6% of the GDP, negative balance, which was yes also facing the real estate crisis, low saving, high debts. 125% of annual revenue is the indebtedness of families there, which is incredibly high. And also other problems like the overconsumption of oil. The population in the US represents 5% of the world, but they are consuming 25% of the world oil production or consumption. But focusing on the industrial market, so there are 3 points very important that we need to know to focus on this market. First point is that there is a very huge concentration around the Great Lakes, which is the first industrialized region with 70% of the head offices of the majors and 40% of the industrial production. The second point is that Texas and California are now the new industrial regions with respectively 32 and 16% of the national production. And the third very important point is that you have a low labor cost area in Mexico, which lead to the creation of free trade zones near the border. So this is known as maquiladoras. we're going to speak a little bit more later on. So if I now try to make a sort of mix between what we have analyzed, so there are a lot of pump manufacturers in the US. The centrifugal pump market there represents $100 million with a growth rate of 5%. So this means that our first step before opening would be already to try to sell to pump manufacturers there out of our German factory to make as a slow implementation. And we also have seen that there was still a lot of industries, especially in the California, Texas, and the industrial belt, which is sometimes called the Rust Belt, because still it had to face a lot of desindustrialization in the past year. But still, this is three very important locations. This means the second step would be to be present in these regions. As the market is quite saturated already, because we have an American competitor present in the US, this means we would have to fight for every market share there by selling through quality and reliability. And also we would have to offer after-sales service, which is really important in our industry. But the thing is that we are already known as the best quality product on the market in Europe. So it wouldn't be really a problem to do that in the US. That's why, as I was saying, our strategy would be to open a commercial office in Chicago to manage the Northeast zone, another one in San Francisco, and in Houston. And on the other hand, we would open service plants, one in Chicago and one in Ciudad Juarez, who would supply San Francisco and Houston. So the service plant would be a joint venture, and the commercial office would be LLC. So this is mainly for tax reasons, and also management reasons, because we don't want really to get into the management of a service plant in Mexico. Would like to just to make a joint venture. Would be much easier for us. So the business plan, as we have seen, commercial offices LLC, more flexible, more suitable for small companies. Only 2 people per office, 1 manager, 1 for the administration. The investment will be only about $30,000, with an expected turnover of $500,000 per office, and we'll try to get 5% of market share at the beginning. Expected benefits would be $20,000 per office. The service plant would be a joint venture, which is a strategic alliance, and which has lower taxes than a partnership. So also we would not have to manage the human resource. The cash flow, so investment in the joint venture would be about $200,000 to buy, especially to buy the special material we need to repair our products, with an expected turnover also $200,000 and benefits of $10,000. And of course, yes, we have higher margin on spare parts. So I would say that our project can have a really good return on investment with low investment, and it is of course very important for the image of our company to be present in the US, because it's still the world leading economy, and if we want to be present worldwide, we need to step into the US. It is mandatory. Then the service plan in Mexico would then could be useful in the future when we want to try when we're gonna try to step into the Latin American market. So this is for the future. And of course, as a repositioning, we could eventually closed down the Californian office and stopped the joint venture in Chicago.